Alrighty. Welcome everybody to VR Jungle a Havoc podcast. This is a very interesting podcast today that we have our very first guest to season 2. As you all know, season 1 was filled with all sorts of guests. As I have ArthurGuinness in my name as well, so it's kind of funny. I got to fix that while you guys are talking. But I am the guest, Geralty. I don't know why it doubled up names. Then we have co-host over here, Pickle, and then our guest, as you see, it's on my name is Arthur Guinness. He is from the NEPA Pro Series. If you don't know what that is, it is basically Echo, an Echo league that's pretty much going to take it to the next level of probably making Echo and the players involved in it pretty, top notch. What I've heard, I've actually had the CEO of NEPA on last season, and he kind of explained a lot more into it. So if you want to dive down more about what your team is, what your involvement is, and all that, why fix my name? So
Sure. Well, I'm one of the owners of NEPA. I own two different teams, actually. I own the Echo Club Kansas City and the LA Destroyers. And NEPA, just as in general, I think it's a group of guys that I think we all play Echo now. Not all of us played for very long. I've been playing since it was a very new game.
mm-hmm.
But I think we've all looked at it and just feel like has the potential to be the next really big thing, like a Rocket League. And so we thought, well, if we can get behind that and push it to another level, maybe we can help this thing grow. That's kind of been the goal all along. We just finished our first season. We called it Series 1. The Orlando Cyclones won that. They beat my team, Echo Club Kansas City, in the final, and it was an unbelievable match. Really close, came down to the last seconds. If you get a chance to go out and watch the replay of that match, it was outstanding.
Yeah, and we'll definitely add links to that because it is all live broadcasted, right?
It's what?
It's live broadcasted, like someone actually recorded it, and then we can actually go to it. Yeah, so I'll definitely get a link from you for that. We'll add it to the bottom of the description for this. Pickle, yeah, have you ever played Echo?
I've played a little bit, but I was pretty bad at it. I'm not. It's definitely a bit out of comfort zone for me, for sure, because it's with the gravity and the movement.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy like just grabbing people's legs and just keep punching them on the head and then ducking below, and they can't do it, and they try, and then I just shield, and then they get stunned again. But throwing, no, I'm so bad at it.
Yeah, and some people can flick. Like we have an Echo team and
Mhm.
Havoc, and they get me on there every once in a while and try and teach me how to do certain things, like how they flick and throw the disc. And I'm just like, you guys are tenfold different skill level than I could probably ever be. Like I'd have to play for years. But
I
Arthur,
think
go ahead.
that's part of the thing we love about the game. It really is. It's more of a sport than a video game,
Mhm.
and there really is a level of skill to it. It takes a long time just to learn the movement of the game. In zero gravity and the ability to push off of objects and things quickly. But then on top of that, the ability to accurately throw the disc is a skill that takes a very long time to master.
Yeah, and so you play, right? You say you play Echo?
Yeah, I do. I'm not very good at it, but I have a lot of fun playing.
Yeah, and so you guys have the lane event coming up over in St. Louis. Um, Now, if I heard this right before, you guys are all going to have all of the team owners be like in a tournament as well, part of the thing, or is that still a thing?
Uh, I don't know. We did that the week before the finals, and we played the East owners versus the West, and the West just destroyed the East, unfortunately. So I would look forward to a rematch. Um,
Yeah,
but I don't know if we're going to do that at LAN or not. I think a lot of us are going to be very busy at LAN. It's a really big venue. It's going to be in the St. Louis Cardinals stadium, Bush Stadium.
yep.
So it's a big venue. There's going to be a lot of people there. We have iHeartRadio advertising for us in the local area. So I think a lot of just St. Louis local people are going to come out, just if nothing else, to support the Special Olympics. They are that's really what we're doing with this event is supporting the esports division of the Special Olympics.
Gotcha.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, and most people don't know they even have that. But if you think about it, VR is it's very liberating for people that maybe can't play in other certain spaces. There's a lot of opportunity there for anyone to play. So I think it's really cool. The Special Olympics are looking that direction as well, and we're looking to help them do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, like for me, I think I could definitely see the applications of like VR because, say someone was in a car accident and got their legs messed up, they could still use their arms and their head to move around and echo, and it could be a really kind of freeing experience for someone who's like feels like they might be stuck in however, in their situation. They can get in VR, have some fun, play some sports, and really enjoy themselves. So that's really cool. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
It's a good cause. Either one of you going to the land?
I'll be there.
I wish I could. I'm nowhere close though.
Oh.
Yeah, I live like an hour away, so
cool.
I have no problem being there. I watch baseball games there all the time, so I know Busch Stadium very well. So yeah, I know the vicinity area, so I know a couple people. I think I have someone from Havoc. Only one from Havoc's going to be playing in it. I guess he's actually going to do the lane tournament. I'm just going to go as a walk around, probably hand out a whole bunch of these like stickers and like Havoc stickers, and just kind of promote my brand and this podcast and all that. But I know that Havoc and then also a team called Disorient, they just picked up a VR Echo team, and we might be doing like a cross duo. So during the event, if you see two people on the same team with two different jerseys, it's kind of our collab that we're doing while we do the live event. So it'd be pretty interesting.
Oh, that's great. I mean, if nothing else, I love just seeing the growth and that people like yourself are taking an interest in doing this, just again because Echo Arena it's been such a small community, and it's good to see it growing up, but it's still got a ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just with how the weather's been here, it's been we just got hit with a horrible snowstorm, so hopefully the snow stays away for that event. So
yeah,
you'll be surprised. In Illinois, Missouri, I've seen plenty of times where it's snowing in like Easter and stuff like that. So
yeah, I live in Kansas City, so
yeah,
we're about the same climate probably. Although it's about a 4-hour drive for me, I think, to get to St. Louis.
Yeah, I know. I should have bought myself a long sleeve one of these because it's like freezing in my house right now, and I'm like freaking cold trying to wear this shirt. But so the lane event, you have all that coming up, and then when is the start of the next season coming up? Then that's going to be evolving. Do you guys have dates? Are you allowed to release dates? I know sometimes leagues kind of wait to hold off to really, for advertisements. So.
Yeah, we haven't nailed down a specific day yet. We've got a pretty good idea. It certainly won't start before the end of the current VRML season. So sometime after the LAN, I expect we'll probably we're doing an expansion draft. So there will be some new pro teams coming.
Yep.
And then, that expansion draft will happen. And then probably a few weeks after that, we'll start the Series 2. So we're expecting it'll probably be 4 new teams. So currently we have 12, so we'll go to 16, which will be a nicer format, just for playoffs and stuff.
Yeah, and so I've never really knew this about the NEPA teams. It's all VR. Like the dynamic that you guys are building is like NFL or like NBA stuff like that. But usually the location of say the Los Angeles Laser Sharks, right? Is that what it is?
Destroyer.
Yeah, I get them all. Yeah. So not all of them live in Los Angeles, right? So you don't have to
Right.
live in the specific region, unlike most teams where like, hey, you have to live here, you have to practice here. So these people, these kids on these teams, or even adults that are on these teams, they probably may never see each other in real life, right?
Well, we hope that our land events are going to be more common.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and so hopefully, whenever we have championships, potentially in the future, we'll do those in more of a land event to bring everyone together. But if you think about the Kansas City Chiefs, for example, I mean, yeah, those guys all live here during the season, um, but they're from all over the world. I mean, all over the country at least. Our quarterback just went home to Texas. So um, you don't, in a pro series or a pro league, you don't generally have to live where you play.
Yeah. Yeah, that very interesting. So you own two teams, correct? Then in the NEPA Pro Series.
I do, yeah. No, my brother-in-law and I are business partners, and so
Oh, cool.
technically there's two of us that own two teams. Um, he doesn't play Echo Arena. I think
Mhm.
he's found a love of watching it.
Yeah.
He's become a fan, but he's not in the arena. So I'm kind of the face of the two teams, even though there's two of us.
Yeah, and so they don't have any league rules saying like that has like because I know like in the NFL if a manager owned two really good football teams and they were just switching off drafts between each other to kind of pick off
Yeah.
which one they want or who they need. Is you think there's ever going to be anything down the road where they're going to be like, hey, your brother's going to have more of a lead focus on this or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a conflict of interest that is always
Mm-hmm.
I'm thoughtful of, and
Mhm.
so I'm very careful not to do anything like that. And we
Yeah.
do have some rules between owners if we're going to pick up a player or drop a player. Um, there's certainly ways that the league can veto those things. So I'm absolutely not going to abuse it. I'm very conscious of that. But
Yeah.
but there are I think the other owners would put a stop to it if I tried. But I mean, honestly, I think about it all the time, like because I really I've got two different teams with two different captains and two groups of players, and I'm not a meddler. I don't get into the team like, hey, how are you guys going to play this team, or
Mm-hmm.
what's your
Mhm.
strategy? But at the same time, I'm interested, right? I mean, I'm a fan as much as I'm an owner, so it's I'm very, very careful not to ever say anything to either team about what the other team has told me or done.
Yeah.
But both of my captains, Leverage and Oculus Ada, are my two captains, and they've just been phenomenal. They're very open with me on what's going on with the teams, and I really want to keep it that way. So I'm careful not to violate that.
Yeah, for sure. And so when these people come into this league, you guys are trying to develop a very professional like standing of where you want to be in the future that you guys plan on going. Like you have a pretty strong mission. And so sometimes relying on, not to put some people down, but a lot of Echo players that are really good at the game are in the 13 to 18-year range. And so it's like there's a lot of weird conflict of issue, maybe signing contracts because they're not 18. Do you guys only allow 18 years old? Do you allow below that where you have to have certain parents sign off? Like, how do the contracts work there? And it's just like I've had three Echo teams now and for VRML, and I think the biggest issue is that sometimes they just like disband or one kid doesn't want to play anymore. It's just like, oh dang, okay, you guys just all disrupted. So you guys, how do you fix that?
Wow. Well, that was a lot of questions in one
I didn't mean to.
question.
I started rambling. I was just like, you have to catch me sometime. You're like one at a time.
It's okay. They're good questions. When we started the league, that was one of the things we first talked about was an age limit and how do we manage the whole contract thing. Every state's different when you start dealing with kids that are under 16.
Mm-hmm.
So initially we said we're only going to take 16 years and over. And then we found some of the states had laws that were a little more relaxed, a little more easier to work with. Um, And then on top of that, there are some players who are under 16 that are just phenomenal players and really good people. So, and the first one that we changed that rule for was Saluna, because I told Timber I want her as my captain. This is back when we first started the LA Destroyers, before we had an actual 12-team league. And so we figured out a way to make it work, and her parents were involved in the contract talk and all that stuff. Since then, we've still kind of held to that 16-year-old minimum, but we've made a lot of exceptions. So I don't know, it's not necessarily a hard and fast rule anymore, but we do, the hardest thing I think is that we really value maturity and professionalism, like you said. Sometimes it's difficult to find a talented 14-year-old who's mature enough to be professional in their dealings with this game.
Yeah.
Because they're hanging around with a bunch of 14-year-olds when they're not in a NEPA server, right? Because that's who their friends are.
Yeah.
So, but we do have quite a few now who are under 16 who are doing a great job.
That's good.
I think part of it is we've been very clear about our expectations, for the player, just player character. And we've had to enforce it and make some unpopular decisions with some players occasionally, but I think they've gotten the message that if you want to represent this organization, you can't go around and be a jerk to people or.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I totally agree with that. So you get to meet their parents?
Some of them, yeah. I mean, not in person, obviously, but through Zoom and sometimes just on phone calls. But yeah. And most of them are really cool people, and they're excited to see their kid playing the game professionally. And some of them are now putting on headsets and getting into play too.
That's really cool.
It's really cool. And that's my favorite part of Echo is whenever I get to play, my son plays. And we don't get to play together very often, but when we do, it reminds me of why I love the game so much.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And I played the game. That was the very first game I played because it was free when I put my headset on. And man, it really made me motion sickness until I finally got used to playing an Oculus. It was all over the place. But yeah, I definitely understand with unpopular decisions. Havoc's main thing that we talk about is we try and promote a non-toxic environment throughout VR. And I've removed really good players. I've even removed full teams out of our team because they would be doing stuff out, even though they're not doing it in tournament, they're doing it in people's streams, they're doing it in public things where it's if it comes back to me and it's a bad image, I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. You made the decision to do something stupid when you're trying to promote a growing organization.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times they don't recognize that. Well, sometimes they don't even understand the things they're doing are toxic.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I do that all the time. Well, yeah, stop it. But but the other thing that I think sometimes people don't, it's hard for them to process is the idea that I'm paying somebody to play this game.
Yeah.
Right. Me and another 11 owners or whatever. And so I hear this. I'm really involved in the AAA and the PDR, the development program we have to hopefully develop and bring up more pro players. But I hear this constantly, people saying, well, so-and-so needs to be in there. They deserve to be there. They're really great players. They deserve to, I hear deserve all the time. And I'm like, it's my money, right? I mean, who deserves to decide where I give my money?
Yeah, exactly.
If I'm going to pay a player to represent me and my team, I get to decide who deserves to be there. Me and the other 11 owners. So I think, if people don't want to have the high character standards that we demand from our players, they don't have to play with NEPA, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. But if they want to be a part of this professional program, they have to be able to be good representatives of the organization. So it's a constant battle, and it's not a battle that any of us enjoy. I mean, we just want to see people play the game, play it well, and be good people.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys have some pretty good shoutcasters out there. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's one that I even watch on TikTok, and he really gets into it. Really enjoy watching just his TikToks alone, just watching it, like the moves. And I think there was some person that made a goal with their forehead like the other day, which I thought was pretty interesting. He made a big ordeal with it. I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't even know you could just like headbutt the thing in.
Yeah, I can't remember who that. I think it might have been Sweet Tooth. I remember seeing that. He was flying too. He was going so fast, and to be that fast and that accurate with a headbutt, because even the shape of the head, you have to turn your head just right to get a flat surface to direct the disc.
Yeah.
And it was, if you don't know the sport, you wouldn't recognize how really skilled that instant headbutt into the goal was. It was phenomenal. I hope I got that right. I hope it was Sweet Tooth.
I think now that you said that, I think it was that name that he shouted out when he made it. There was another one where there's like this damn near impossible shot to make, that it's from the lower thing, you make it pop back up and it goes through. And just watching that happen, like, I've seen people like even practice and still miss it. And this one person in a actual match got it to go off. So
yeah, and Dimwee, I remember that he went crazy. And Dim is just such an outstanding caster. I mean, he keeps it exciting. He's again, if you get a chance to just go watch a match, go watch our final. And Dim is on that, and he's just amazing. He keeps it constantly upbeat, and he's just so full of knowledge of the game. So he just does an outstanding job.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm curious for like people who would want to watch that. Where can we find it? Where can we find the matches?
Yeah, if you go to Twitch and just search for the NEPA TV,
okay,
that's ours, and all the matches. I think they eventually drop off of there. We will be releasing them back onto YouTube eventually.
Awesome.
I think there is a plan to just sort of put them out one at a time and be able to go back and rewatch the whole season. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, I would recommend, if you guys are trying to push it from Twitch, to have someone download it, because I think Twitch only keeps certain videos for so long. I don't know what the...
Yeah, it's like a month or so.
Yeah.
Of each,
we have all of them. It's just a matter of now getting them released.
Yeah, pushing them out.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's doing that. I think Jimmy's in charge of that. So it's coming.
Yeah, but
now everybody's kind of bogged down with just prepping for the LAN event. It's
yeah, that's definitely pretty cool. And just a thing that I wanted to say about removing people from doing dumb things. It's like that NFL player that took his whole entire pads off and took his shirt off, in front of everybody, and he got removed from the team. So I just had to say that. It just reminded me of how crazy that was. Like, dude.
I actually used him as an example in a conversation one time that somebody was arguing about who we do and don't let in, and I said, look at Antonio Brown. He's a cancer on every team he joins. He's always a problem. And so then somebody responded to that, like saying, "Are you saying I'm a spouse abuser or wife beater?" Or like,
of course, they take it the worst way possible.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
It's an
at
analogy.
I'm just saying that this is a very talented player. He's one of the most skilled players in the NFL when it comes to wide receivers. But I would never put him on my team because he was stuff like that. And then here he is, probably his last chance of his career, and he pulls that thing.
Yeah.
He'll never play again, I don't think.
No, I don't
but
think.
I've said that before from other things he's done, so he might be wrong. But, yeah.
I mean, if someone wants him, and a hurting team that could just put up a little bit of a person that does dumb stuff, then whatever, he might get on a team again.
Yeah, he's such a great example of why talent is not the only thing that matters.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the other thing that people just constantly misconstrue. They say, well, NEPA's not skill-based. because we don't just take the best players.
Mm-hmm.
We do though. I mean, if you look at our rosters, we take the best players. We just disqualify the ones that are jerks,
Yeah.
right? Or not going to be good for the league, good for other people. So yeah.
And the good thing is, it's not your problem; it's their problem. At the end of the day, they held themselves to a standard, and sometimes it takes years, maybe decades, to get your image back if you keep on doing dumb stuff. So that's up to them. But but Pickle, you've been over there. Just I don't know if you've ever seen a naked VR man in a podcast. He is.
Yep.
Probably my most favorite part about this podcast is having him on. Do you have any questions about NEPA Pro Series to Arthur? Just in general?
So, as someone who likes to compete in a lot of VR esports, like, is there a way that we could get involved with the NEPA scene and maybe potentially try out or like do anything like that? Because I'd be interested. I'm always down to learn new like movement tech and like all this cool like esports stuff that you can really get your hands deep into.
Yeah.
So
we're going to continue to grow. I mean, our plan eventually is to have up to 32 professional teams.
Oh, wow.
So it's important to us to keep bringing in new talent, keep bringing in new players and helping them develop to get to a level where they can actually be competitive with those guys who are really good now.
Mm-hmm.
So on our website, there is a thing called the PDR. It stands for Player Development Roster. And so if you go to NEPAVRPro.com, that's where our website is, and go to that PDR. You can sign up. There's a form there. So you put your name on the list, and then we have a whole scouting program. We've got a bunch of guys who are, sorry, my granddaughter's out there.
Oh, you're good.
That's okay.
She's a year old. But there's a scouting program of people who are then kind of evaluating those players. And oftentimes there are people who don't get the opportunity to get evaluated just because a lot of those scouters play a lot of pubs. And if they've run into people who are not showing the standards that we just talked about, then they're not even going to try them out. But if they do, I mean, if they get the opportunity, then the scouters will actually report back to the player and say, hey, here's what we're seeing. You did this really well. You did this pretty good. This needs some work. They'll give you kind of a little report card so you know what you need to work on. And you can continue working in there until eventually you hopefully get moved up to the actual PDR server where you're playing high level games and scrims with other AAA and higher players. But that's really how you get involved. We currently, I just looked this morning, we have almost 700 names from that forum who are
Wow.
people that want to get into
Wow.
a PDR and eventually, hopefully, onto a AAA and then a pro team. So that's another thing we hear all the time. It's like, how do I get in there? Like I applied 2 months ago and I haven't heard anything. Well, there's another 690 people
Yeah.
in there, trying to get in. So it's a great problem to have. We don't like that there's a ton of people that aren't getting in, want to be, obviously, but it does allow us the luxury of being selective, so I don't know if that answers your question, but we're pretty careful about how people get in there, just because once they're in, it's a process to get someone out if they're not doing the right things.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, you got to think of like NFL scenario, trying to, you got so many players on your team and there's millions of people, probably boys, even now women's that are like doing kicking and there's even been a woman now doing like linemen, stuff like that. Like I know that whole dynamic's going to change, but it's like 1 in a million to become on a NFL pro football team, Right now it's probably not that high to be on the NEPA Pro Series. It might be 1 in 10,000, 1 in 5,000, around that. But that's still, that's a huge margin because not very many people play at Echo Arena, but they won in. Everyone thinks they're good at something until they get told they're not, and then and it's a hard thing to do. But sometimes you got to realize, like, hey, you just got to keep practicing, some of the greatest quarterbacks ever didn't become the greatest quarterbacks just by throwing one football.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think the future will be more like an NFL style. There are already high school leagues forming for Echo Arena. There is a college league already for Echo Arena. So I could see at some point where those things are feeding into kind of a combine like the NFL does every year,
Yeah.
pulling rookies in and expanding the roster. Some of that we've got some real limitations just because the game itself only allows so many people on a roster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're working with that, but I got to believe at some point maybe the developers will make things a little more flexible so we can do some more things with more people.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I've seen so far, Echo, there is no ceiling for anything in VR at all. And so someone just needs to set where it needs to be and what a pro type of league looks like. There's been many people who have tried it. There's a lot of people that have failed at it, but where is the cap at? Where is a solid, perfect model that's going to work? And I definitely think NEPA's model so far is looking pretty successful. But I know I was only told you I was going to keep you on for so long before we get into the news and stuff. But Arthur, do you have anything that you would want to kind of say lastly before we move on to the lovely other parts of interesting things we're going to talk about today? So,
well, thanks for having me on. First of all, I've appreciated it. I enjoy your cast, your podcast, and I remember watching Timber on this thing a year ago. So it's kind of cool for me to be sitting here following him. But I guess I would say I would appreciate if people would go out and check out our website. Go to nepavrpro.com and certainly take a look at the LAN event and consider running out there. And it is going to be a really amazing thing to be in with a lot of people, especially if you play Echo. There's so many people that are going to be there. It'll be cool to put a face and a name together.
Yeah.
And at the same time, be able to support, a really good cause with the Special Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know I'll be there. I will be. I know for a fact that I plan on posting stuff on Havoc's Discord, stuff like that, or social media stuff about it. Once it gets closer to it, or like whatever you guys come up with, I usually retweet it, and I hope to see a good majority of the people there and actually see people play live. So, but loved having you on. I love when bringing on NEPA people on because there's still more to learn about it. That's what the biggest thing. So.
Yeah, we're still learning too. I mean, I know anyone that was involved this last year would certainly tell you we made some mistakes, but it was our first season, and hopefully we've learned from those, and season 2 is going to be better. Anyway, all that's in the future. I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah.
Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, no. Thanks for showing up. It was fun talking to you and learning more about NEPA and Echo in itself. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Look forward to meeting you at the LAN.
Yeah, for sure. I'll probably have this on passing around stickers, so I'll be pretty noticeable. I have a VR monkey on my chest, so.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes, thanks.
Take care.
So now I'm scrambled everywhere. I knew this was going to happen. But look at that. I thought my screen was going to mess. I just need to change my name because I guess when I copied it, it moved over. So when I changed my name, we're getting into some VR news now. So if you want to talk about anything, and I'll kind of, as I'm changing this name, kind of go along with it. So
all right.
What do you got going
I
on?
will. I'll bring up the Psvr2 specs because PlayStation had they had released some of the specs online, so now we can really know what PSVR2 kind of brings forth and looks like, give us a better idea of what's going to go on and see how it makes improvements from the original PSVR.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, there's like, okay. I should have screened this beforehand. But, yeah, it says they have now 4K HDR displays with two 2000 by 2040 OLED displays, and it says it delivers over 4 times the resolution generated by the original PSVR. So that's that's obviously a huge improvement that you'd get with the PS5's hardware and all that.
Yeah, for
Mm,
sure. But did you see the new controllers they're gonna have? Those are for sure gonna break.
mm-hmm.
They were 100% any. It looks like it protects your hand more, but for sure, 100%. If you punch something, those things are gonna shatter.
Yeah, they look pretty flimsy, but who knows, you know? We'll definitely see. I've seen lots of people break their Oculus like ring trackers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
based on or like the actual controllers for anyone who's confused by what I mean by that. They
Yeah,
have the rings on it and those have snap plenty.
yeah, for sure.
And yeah, it also says it can deliver up to 120 FPS. However, personally, I would not expect it. We'll definitely see when it's out, but 120 FPS, that's a lot of FPS. So we'll have to see. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting how they handle it.
Um, I could see it. Only reason why is because it is PlayStation 5 is just a glorified computer. So if you
Hmm.
hear anything, my wife decides to clean our floors right now. So I hear just scraping right now. So my dog likes to attack it. So we'll see how that goes. But do you think with the PSVR2 that with the Unreal Engine 5 coming out, do you think they're going to make some really crazy
Oh,
games, or do you think that's even a possibility?
that's actually really interesting that you say that. I think Unreal Engine 5 is like that's gonna be really big. Like some of the techniques and like rendering stuff they have added, like
Mm-hmm.
nanite and other things like that. Which nanite, I believe. I mean, I could be completely wrong, so you know, take it for what it is. But nanite, I believe, is like they basically like imagine you have like a cube, like a big cube,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can separate it into like sections, and then like your um computer or console or anything can choose to render between one of those sections, you know. So like they can go really high detailed on what's close to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then it loses detail further away, I believe. That's how it works. And it's like it's basically just a more advanced level of detail, which for those who don't know, in games they'll often have lower poly models further off in the distance, polygons obviously being the triangles that make up a 3D model.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it could be interesting how they integrate that because it's supposed to be pretty well optimized, and you know, VR could use some optimization, and
Mm-hmm.
it would be interesting to see how that plays out and which developers decide to take advantage of it.
Yeah, because I've seen the videos of it, and it's unbelievable how clear it is. It's like
Hmm.
you're walking in real life. Now imagine putting that in VR, where. But I could definitely see them reaching 120 hertz. I could definitely see it, just because the PlayStation 5 has some major capabilities. Um,
Hmm.
but with this, I was laughing about it today, talking about the this PlayStation VR headset 2 coming out. That always seems like once PlayStation gets around to like PS2 or PS3, Xbox, like, hey, maybe we should actually do something. And so we'll see if Xbox makes some uh, VR headset or not, just solely that connects to their Xbox as well.
I think Phil Spencer has kind of spoken against the Xbox before on record. He said that there wasn't like a huge demand, and this was an old quote, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so take it as like a quote from like 2, 3, 4 years ago. He said that something along the lines of that Xbox doesn't have an interest in VR because there's not a demand, and I think they potentially have doubled down on that. So that's kind of unfortunate, especially when you include all the studios they've taken advantage of, like Bethesda
Mm-hmm.
and Activision Blizzard most recently. So
Yeah,
we'll see
they're
how
making
that
they're
all
making
plays out.
huge deals right now. So they're about to make some. Even though they bought it, there's still a lot of contracts that are connected to them to make anything like a proprietary thing where it's just for them and Xbox. So we'll see
Hmm.
how that comes out. But that's like within the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
maybe those contracts are actually about to come up. I don't really know where to find the contracts that showed that, but maybe they bought it because those contracts are coming up and they're about to make things for within the next 2 to 3 years instead of the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I think how most of them have been running is like they're kind of um not a lot of these acquisitions are going to take effect for a while, it because with all the legal like gray area,
Mm-hmm.
and Xbox is getting in like a little bit of trouble with the FTC. Oop, accidentally grabbed myself. Grabbed the air.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, like we'll see how that all turns out, with those lawsuits that they're taking for antitrust and competitiveness, which is, I mean, kind of what Meta's getting trouble for right now.
Yeah. It sounds like everyone's getting in trouble. We'll see how that goes out.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see because like a lot of companies, I mean, I don't think most people are, but I'm not a fan of monopolies. I'd like the innovation and stuff
Mhm.
that can come from other people doing other things, and competing with each other. But
Well, the thing
we'll
is,
see.
they were all separate, and then Facebook saw that Oculus was a great idea, and they purchased them. And now,
Right.
For everything that's changed since Facebook is, because Facebook's the main company, which I think they're still calling Facebook, the actual application, but the
Yeah, the
company
actual
itself
application.
is now Meta, which has Instagram, WhatsApp. They own Oculus, which is now MetaQuest, and which is a horrible name. I don't.
Yeah, I don't like it
They didn't
either.
call it Facebook. Facebook Quest. Why couldn't you just keep it Oculus? Like it didn't have to be changed to Meta.
Hmm.
But anyway, speaking of Meta, they are back in the news with an interesting topic. Like it got CNN, it got the BBC, like all these bigger name news places. They're all talking about this interesting thing
Oh
that's
yeah,
going on. So they added a new thing. I guess you can turn it on, or you can turn it. It's a click on
it's
and off
on
thing.
by default, I
On
believe.
by
So like,
default, yes, but you can
yes.
turn it off if you don't like it. But there is
Hmm.
now a 4 foot distance bubble around you where people cannot interact with you because people were going up and doing inappropriate gestures. There was even a woman 4 days ago that felt like when she was in there that she was being, they used the term gang raped. So
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard about that as well.
yeah, I think so. But
It's kind of extreme to think that, obviously we knew that eventually they're going to have to come up with some idea to stop dumb people going up and trying to touch VR privates. It's like
hmm.
it was inevitable. You have, boys are dumb. We do dumb things, and I can see any adolescent child that it thinks it's funny to grab VR, whatever. They're
Yeah,
doing it. So, so what do you
yeah.
think about the whole thing? You think it's like a good step? Was it needed?
I think it's good to have options. So like having that as a default, I think that's good because like I mean in some games like what's it called? Like um Echo. What we were just talking about, I try to play and all these kids would just like get all over me and like grab on, and it's not very comfortable, I can say that much.
But that's a huge part of that game is grabbing people and then pushing yourself off them. You even punch
Right,
people in
but
the
I
face while
mean
playing
it's
it.
like where they do it, in the like lobbies, where there's a bunch of kids who like grab your junk
Yeah,
and stuff. It's
yeah.
like, okay, kid, calm down.
It is kind of weird, and it's just like, but it's almost like goes along with the whole idea of people doing that air humping thing, the teabagging thing.
Teabagging, I I mean, I think teabagging's a little different. It obviously depends on games. Like some games, teabagging's more impactful than others. Like Larcenauts, I'd say, I don't really teabag unless I know it's like someone who's okay with it. But it doesn't, it doesn't look like anything. It looks goofy.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept because it's early 2000 Call of Duty stuff that people are teabagging and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, I get both sides to where, there is arguments that, you're putting virtual junk in their face but at the end of the
Mhm.
day, the thing is though, is that when you kill someone and you teabag them, they don't see that. They don't virtually see it. I still don't. I would never do it just because um, I just don't see I'm streaming myself all the time, and I just don't see myself bouncing up and down like that. It's just kind of goofy to me. I think
Yeah.
sometimes in like watching clips on Call of Duty, it's kind of funny when people do that. I think Call of Duty they embrace stuff like that. They have stuff where
Yeah.
you flip people off. They have stuff where you like power bomb them and then you freaking teabag them. Like they don't give it any craps. But
Yeah.
I could see it to be different if you killed somebody and they sat there laying for a little bit until they respawn.
Right, and they
Then you
have
see
to
it.
actually
They
see it in their
yes,
face. Yeah.
be a little different thing there. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting thing that they changed it. I know I did Horizon beta and there was like no one on it, but now it seems like it's littered with a whole bunch of people. It almost is coming off of as I don't know if it's ever going to replace like VR chat. VR chat's pretty big.
I highly doubt it.
But I could see it replacing Rec Room though.
Yeah. Yeah, I could probably see something closer to that. I mean, I'm obviously super into VR chat. Like I used to. VR chat might be my most played VR game, honestly. I
Mhm.
haven't played it so much recently, but I'm sure I have somewhere near 2,000 hours in that.
Wow, that's a
So
lot.
I've seen some stuff in VR chat, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's quite a bit of hours. That's just a lot. That's a lot of hours. Holy cow.
Yeah,
But yeah, and so but Rec Room, the only thing different there is it's on Pancake as well. It's not just VR.
true. Yeah.
So that kind of makes it big. And I was hoping, I know he didn't want to stick around for the news because it's kind of last minute trying to throw news at people that they don't really didn't read the article or anything. But I was gonna
Hmm.
bring up Rec Room because I was gonna see what would happen if they allowed PSVR to they don't have Echo Arena, but this new one could potentially. If they brought Echo to the game, which I don't think they will because it's owned by Facebook,
Hmm.
but if it was a possibility, like these consoles, especially like PC VR, if you're playing Summon and Quest, there's huge disadvantages sometimes playing them. Like they see frames and they can catch that thing a lot quicker than people in Quest. So, but the funny
Hmm.
thing about it is that Rec Room recreated Echo Arena and I was watching the video before I got on here and it was hilarious. It looked just like it. It was just in their little Rec
Hmm.
Room things. Instead of a disc, it was a ball because there's so many things like copywriting and everything. But they did a pretty good job remaking the room. So
Hmm. Yeah, there's lots of stuff like that in other games too. Like I know there's like CS:GO and Roblox.
mm-hmm.
You know, I think it's called like Phantom Forces or something.
Roblox. You talk about a game being played by like every child in the world is Roblox.
Yeah, it's true.
They love Roblox, man. Uh, so, anyways, there wasn't really much going on with the VR world besides basically that. But I would like to, before we talk about something that we're probably going to be on for a hot minute, is before we talk about Zenith,
Hmm.
because I definitely want to talk about that. They have they released something on their Twitter. But are you watching by chance the Winter Olympics?
The Winter Olympics, like actual Winter Olympics.
Yeah, it's going on right now.
I didn't know it
You
was.
didn't know it was going on? I mean, I think a lot. I don't think they really advertised it very well, or maybe they did, or they didn't put on the right things because, like, I watch, stream stuff all the time, and I've never
Hmm.
really seen it being advertised. I knew it was going to come up just because, they were talking about it when the Olympics was on. Actually, the Summer Olympics was on. They were talking about it, but
Hmm.
but with it, if you ever want to watch it, I guess Quest right now you can like stream it, and I think also you can do this in PC VR, but you can stream it and watch some events in 8K.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I should have known that.
I sent it to you. You should have known
You did.
about it. So, I didn't know how much people were watching the Olympics, but you know, I dig watching sports in my Quest because you get to see the live action right there. Like doing like the basketball events where you're like sitting in the front row seat where you're sitting there just watching the basketball game front row, like as if you paid like a couple $1,000s for that ticket, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just wanted to say that because it interested me. But other than that, there was really nothing. It was that, and then now we get to move on to Zenith because literally, if you type in VR news, 4 out of the 10 articles is about Zenith. So it's still a huge hot topic. It is being labeled, probably the best MMO of VR. A lot of people want to argue with that just because there's like 3 or 4 other MMO VRs that.
I think there's like Orbis. I don't know if Township Tale counts.
It's not considered. I mean, it is and it's not.
Right.
The only reason why is just because you craft everything, but nothing ever advances. It's just based off the material you get. It's not found by random RNG drops. So, I mean, it can be. I think it is, but it's like loosely considered.
Mm-hmm.
But they have Orbis, and there's another one. There's like 2 others, and I can't remember what they're called.
I don't know.
Yeah, someone else was talking to me about it. It's like you walk around like throwing things. I don't know. I can't remember what
you walk around.
You walk around throwing things. Who knows? You start with like as a naked man. It's like almost like Ark, but in VR type of format.
Oh. Wait. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I just can't think of what's coming. But I know Orbis. Orbis is it was part of PC VR first, and then it came to Oculus like 2-3 years ago, if that.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you on Zenith?
On Zenith?
Yeah, where you at?
Oh, I don't know if I know what the region's called. It's after the Amorite Forest. Oh, it's like the area right after that, I think. Maybe I'm still in the Amorite Forest. No, I'm in the Mushroom Place. Those areas kind of blend in together, honestly.
They do. There's three regions that blend pretty well with each other that are pretty close knit, and they're like literally a fraction of a level based off of each other. But it's just like a lot of people. I tell them where I'm at, and they're just like, why'd you know life it? So I have my Sword Master at level 40, and I have every single legendary gear, and I think they're all up higher than +4. And then I just started my mage yesterday, and it's already at level 22, I think.
Oh my god. You're higher than I am.
And so
are you speedrunning the story? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, because if you do subclasses in the same character you started with, you don't have to do the story over again. You just have to grind their level up to 40, which I will eventually do. But then I was really bored of just grinding the same thing over. I was like, I really just want to do the missions again and not do public events like I've been doing for the past 24 hours. So I went ahead and started my mage and running the story over with that. I picked up a health class, and then about a week, I might go a little slower with this one, but about a week and a half, I'll also have that one at level 40. It was all legendary gear as well. So, and then once they come out with this new character, which was just released on Twitter, which is what's the name of it?
Cyber Ninja.
Cyber Ninja. They didn't really release too much of it. They had their concept art drawn with it,
which is really cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool concept art. Did they really release anything else different?
Yeah, they dropped the whole roadmap, so they have a whole bunch of stuff that we can go into if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you have the roadmap pulled up?
Here, I'll send you the link.
Okay.
But
if you send me a link, then I can pull it up on my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then someone
I already did.
You already sent
I already did send it.
And then someone was confused on one of our topics. If you message what topic you're confused at, maybe we can dive more into depth on what you are confused with. Did you message me in Discord? Look at that, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Hot dog. All right, so this whole roadmap, does it pretty much just go down the list of things?
Yeah, so like they kind of explain how they're gonna take it forward with the, listening and transparency. Like they're kind of they kind of go into that a little bit on how they're going, which is, I mean, it's basically in the subtitle.
Yeah, yeah. I just had like my text chat somewhere go somewhere. I don't know where it went, but something just really got small for me. So, anyways, what we have pulled up right now is the Zenith post-mortem roadmap and third class reveal. There's my chat right there. It's right in front of me. Found it. All right, so let's see if I can really get anything down here that's going to actually explain things. It says minor content updates. So if you go this, I'll have this link in the description so you can kind of run through this. I'm not going to read this whole entire thing through it, but it looks like in-game alerts, new quest, reworking quest, orbit tuning. I don't know if I said that word right at all.
Yeah, I have no idea. Is
orbit?
Is that boss? I bet that's a boss.
It says so. Orbit tuning tuned the orbit balance to make him okay. So I guess it is a boss. Make him both more challenging, fun, and give him a better feedback while battling. Fix several armor visual glitches. I mean, are they gonna give us our? Oh, I just smacked that. Are they gonna give us our headpieces? You know, are we gonna get those yet? Is that part of it?
I have no idea.
Fix cross-buy issues, UI improvement, missing lady improvements, miscellaneous, and then planned in 2002 player housing. I'm very interested to see that concept and how that's gonna work. Let's see if I can zoom up. So player housing, additional life skills and crafting, more end-game content, which I need right now. And then the third class is Cyber Ninja and much more. And they're pretty much already on it. I think that before they release this Cyber Ninja, I definitely think... Oh, can I click on it?
Yeah, you can. That'll bring up the...
Oh, look at that. Yeah, so
concept
right
art.
now this is the concept art. Pretty cool looking.
For sure. Yeah, I can't wait. They look sick. That's the main thing I'm excited for. You know, that and PvP, which actually I'm gonna look back. You can stay on the Cyber Ninja, but I'll see if they mention anything about PvP.
Yeah, I know that PvP will be a thing, but with this, like, they don't really know. Obviously, it looks like we're going to be getting, like, a katana, and is it going to be, you know, are you only wielding one sword at a time? Are you going to have two katanas?
So I think you are only wielding one sword, but I believe you also have a bow. It should say
Oh,
in
so
the
it is
whole
going to be, it
description.
might be a bow character.
It's a bow and a sword character.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and
read.
read this as fast as possible. If I skip over words, I'm sorry. So the Cyber, and it's pretty long, so I think this is their lore. Why can't they just give me what it does? I don't want to read the whole lore. Maybe the first paragraph, it'll give me what I need. So the Cyber Ninja is a fusion of magic and technology with the sole purpose of taking down enemies with stealth and precision, often using their array of gadgets to get the job done. What are the gadgets? Tell me the gadgets. For enemies at a distance,
they have a hook
the
shot.
Cyber Ninja pull back a charge shot with its bow. There we go, bow. And take an enemy out before it even notices them. So that is very big. I think a lot of people are going to completely ditch their character they're working on now to do this. I am a freak of nature, and I'll just have all three maxed out characters at 40. I'll probably redo the whole story again on this character. So yeah, and it has a grapple too, right?
Yeah, they have a hook shot, I believe. It said something like that on either the Twitter or on there. Probably both, but yeah. I'm really excited for a hook shot. That should be fun to use, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So, I know that was the biggest news this week was that. So, like I said, I'll have that roadmap in the description. But is there anything else you want to add to the Zenith? Did you find anything if there was going to be PvP or anything?
So I saw nothing on PvP, which is a little disappointing to be honest. But we'll see how it turns out further along the line. I'm sure PvP is going to be a requested feature that lots of people will get behind. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Although I will say the netcode, you can see it on people. It would not be good for PvP in its current state. Like you can see how their like name tags are like 10 feet behind them when they're running or flying.
Yeah, so. That's super weird. I've seen horrible lag. I know that they finally fixed their server lag issues. That made the game way better. The only thing that stinks is that when you go craft materials now, like the lag sometimes gave you like 3 of the same material. But so now since they fixed it, that doesn't happen anymore. And so I wasn't fortunate enough to do it. I had to grind everything, but I know 2 or 3 people that got that lag thing, and they got out of probably 4 hours worth of playing the game. So
Yeah.
gosh. So let's go ahead. If there's no other news or anything else you want to add before we get into the kind of the esports side of things.
I mean, one thing that you hadn't mentioned is they have stealth, so that will be interesting to see how that goes with stealth mechanics. Because, like, I mean, I don't know, how do you do stealth in an MMO? I mean, I'm not too experienced, so maybe you have more insight on that, but
the only way that I could
weird.
see stealth is that you have, so for instance, the Swordmaster has dash ability. I think once you get higher level, you can dash 2 times per 1 time, coming up to 3 seconds. And then you have the mage that can teleport, right? And these are all used from using godstones. So I'm guessing by stealth, they're going to have some type of footwear godstone that you become very lightweight. And so being alerted to the enemy might happen at a more closer range instead of them seeing you from like a 10-foot range. They don't see you until you get to like 2 foot away from them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Or maybe you go completely invisible.
Yeah, that could be it too. That's actually a good point.
And then
there's definitely going to be like sniping with the bow, but
yeah, like I know when I ran the full story with the Swordmaster, my shoulders hurt, like they were sore. And now I'm doing this mage class, and the game is 10 times easier. And I'm just sitting there and it's pew 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 pew, and then I'll charge it up and shoot it, and then I'm at health mage, so I just drop this little freaking bubble of orb and just like place it on me and get health. It's great. Like being a DPS freaking Swordmaster playing the game was the wrong way to go for my first go about. So
I think DPS Swordmaster is actually pretty easy because the damage scales a lot more.
Yeah, that's why I like it. The DPS is awesome, but I was playing with a Swordmaster healer, and they were just like not taking any damage. I'm like, come here, fling your swords at me and heal me.
Yeah.
So I think today, the way that we're gonna do the esports stuff, I'm only going to talk about one Discord right now. I have multiple Discords attached to our description of leagues to find. Like we have where to find all the stuff for VML. We have stuff that you can find for Pavlov Shack. We have stuff for contractors. We have stuff for gun raiders. But the one that we're specifically going to look at until I can actually find people in each one of these Discords that actually give me information that I can actually properly distribute, which so far it is only the Arc League that has given me something I can actually grab and pull and actually show people where things are at. So the main focus that we're going to be doing is only in the Population 1 world. So if you are interested in having more information about your league out there, your standings, when tournaments are happening, you need to, get a hold of me, get a hold of Pickle, and then we can add it to this. But for right now, to make things easier, instead of me fumbling around, flipping through everyone's stuff, not making sense stuff, because I don't have enough time to make knowledge of what I'm doing, then that's the problem with it. So
yeah.
I'm going to pull up the full standings of each division that they're in, if I can find where I just did with my OBS. Come on, OBS. Give me your... Come here. Stick up there. All right, so... I don't like when it gives me this.
And one thing I'll say while you're looking for that is that there was nothing that happened for Larcenauts. So anyone who's interested in Larcenauts, nothing happened. And I'll definitely be reporting more on Larcenauts just because I compete in it. But
yeah, and so can you expand on maybe what's going on with
The
with,
Lark scene.
huh?
The Larcenot scene.
Yeah. So like, are you guys not? I know we're in the championship against Hexalink, so is that no longer gonna happen right now? Like,
So we are postponing it because the V37 update for Oculus has introduced a lot of crashes in every game. Although I will say from personal anecdote that Larcenauts is particularly bad for it. So,
yeah.
but
And I
yeah,
like, and we don't know when that's gonna get fixed. So,
right.
I honestly just like hope you all just play the game out, and it's gonna stink. But
We're not doing it at all this week.
yeah.
We're gonna kind of just wait until
Mm-hmm.
version 37. At least that's the idea. Honestly, I don't know how long I'm gonna wait for that, because it's like, how long are you gonna postpone finals for? Just play it. But
Yeah,
whatever.
I think if you get too long, because it's already getting to the point where Arc is gonna have to start getting ready for its next season. And I already know there's like 2 of the 3 teams that won't be added to this next season, so you're also hurting other people's chances to be part of this league as well. So,
Hmm.
at this moment, as long as I would just, schedule a game for every week, and if it feels like it's running good that week, then if it plays out, then it plays out. If you guys are all having issues, then you know what, they're like, all right, we'll give it next week. We'll give it a try. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it happens. Me and Contra and Wild will probably talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. So for the Arc League, I'm gonna pull up. I have every single one of their divisions that they have, and why can I not zoom? Can you let me zoom? Oh, what the heck? Shift. Okay, I can't zoom. Why can't I not zoom? You know how to zoom on this? Dude, it literally won't let me zoom.
Hmm.
Whatever. I don't think people are going to be able to see this very well if I don't. But let's see. Desktop view. I swear there's a zoom on here. It's really not going to let me zoom. There we go. There we go. All right, so I'm only going to go... Oh, my goodness. Oh. You're not seeing what I just saw, but I just zoomed in to infinity. So I'm just gonna basically for each division, just do top 3 is all I'm gonna do. So you obviously get to see the other ones that are below the top 3, but we have the blue division is like basically the lowest of the divisions, and then it goes purple, gold, diamond, which is the big boys playing for all the hot dog
Yep.
and drinks and bologna. Who knows? What the
Yeah. Who gets the hot dog?
Who gets the hot dog? Yeah, so we got a Patchwork Family, XX Turd Ferguson's Wrecking Crew. That's an interesting name. And then we have Wolfpack at third for the purple division. I don't like have to zoom in. We got stop zooming in so freaking much. We got the Hexalink Triumphs BDE Juniors, Phoenix Barbellium at third place for purple division. And then, oh wow, oh geez, Louise, this zooming is really giving me a run for my money. So for gold division, we have Hydrations at first, Shockwave at second, and then the NNN Gold Wind at third place. Alrighty, now we have so it just goes there for me. Okay, cool. So it looks like I believe last week Hexalink was in first place, correct?
Last week, I'm not sure.
I'm almost positive. But if they were, they are now in second place, and Cobra Cartel has taken back the number 1 spot. And then you have Cryptic Flow at third, and it looks like Supreme is making their runway to try and get into that third place spot.
Yeah, I like the Cobra Cartel guys, so shout out to them. Major Del Pond. They probably don't even play anymore, but love the guys at the Cobra Cartel.
Yeah, and so that is their standings. You can find every one of these Excel files in their Discord. The Discord's a link in the description. How many times I gotta say that throughout? Every time. Link in the description. So, what I want to pull up now is for the Arc League. They had Excalibur tournament. So, here we go. Desktop view.
Oh, is that with the swords? That
Yes.
just processed in my head. Why didn't I do that? Dude, I'm so good with the sword.
Yeah, so I have this image that I took from the Discord, and so this was put on by Froggy TM. Um,
Oh yeah,
he
okay,
put
I
it
know
on,
Froggy.
and then Ark just hosted it. So, and then it said, oh, they're lobby hosting as well. So then they had people that lobby hosted, but the people that won was we had Samachi at number one. I don't even know how Samachi had time to do this because he's grinding just as hard in Zenith, if not more. So he found some time to get number one, swinging swords at people, and then Abby username, and then Clev came in third for that tournament. And then there is two more tournaments coming up. I'll show the poster for the one that's coming up on the 20th. So it looks like they have Valentine's mixed doubles tournament happening February 13th, so next week. And then you can just go to their Discord, click it, and try and get involved in that if you have another partner. I think you can even sign up solo, and then you have
I think I don't know, just judging by the title, it's Valentine's. You just grab a buddy or your partner. I mean,
mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the MW Legions tournament Friday the 20th, which, that actually sounds February 20th, not Friday the 20th. That sounds actually pretty interesting. I really enjoy Legions. And
Yeah, for sure.
there might be some sweaty teams in that, people
Absolutely.
taking their three squads and three squads. Like imagine the Hexalink team teaming up with Cobra Cartel with their three top.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, the poster that I have pulled up right now, this is what it's all about. So prize pool for the most wanted legions that's happening February 20th is $500, $500 plus entry fee. Winning team.
No, that's the prize, right?
Prize
Not the
pool.
entry fee.
No. So it says prize pool $500 plus entry fees. So
okay.
The wording's kind of weird.
Yeah, so that's whoever throws their money into the pot gets added on top of that.
Okay, but it says right now winning team outside of that is guaranteed $600. $50 entry fee per team. Less than $10 per person, obviously, because it's what is Legions? It's a 6-man team.
Yep, 6-man, 6v6 v6 v6.
Yeah. So you can sign up at their Discord. You can type that in, or you, like I said, link in the description.
Complete actually, I believe, showed up in the chat, and he said Valentine's is mixed doubles, 1 woman per team. So make sure you have a woman on your team if you want to do Valentine's. Thank you, Complete.
Yeah, thanks, Complete. I didn't find a nice little poster thing like this to show, but what do we know? What the prize pool? Did it show the prize pool on that?
For the Valentine's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, it doesn't. But I could probably switch if we can talk about it. I can probably pull it up.
Okay.
So yeah, I know they have some pretty good things happening over there. And like I said, right now, all I really want to do is leagues that can actually provide information for me to actually flip around. I know that like when NEPA, we were doing their stuff, they had nice spreadsheets that actually, they took the time to show the whole brackets spread out and everything like that. I know ARC is, they just did a survey out there. If you don't know, but you could fill out a survey. They plan on building a website, so it actually might eventually come down to, seeing better views from them as well. So it's going to be almost like, just for example, like VRML, how you can flip through all their stuff in standings. I still wish like VRML stuff made a little more sense. Like I'd flip around their stuff and I'm like, yeah, I get their standings, but you have the US and you have the UK and then you have all, but how's that working out in your league? It's more I have to dive down and understand.
Yeah, so Complete actually said the prize pool is about $600 for Valentine's. They said they think though, so
I don't think that's complete.
Maybe.
I don't think that's complete.
Bro, the profile picture looks just like him.
No, that's not complete. That's I can't remember his name on Discord, but that I did a tournament with him one time.
Bro, I mean, I see tiny pixels, but you know.
Yeah, I know. I don't think so. I think I know who it is. He's the one that puts together the spreadsheets. Well, some of them.
Yeah, that's complete guarantee.
What?
Goofball.
Oh, did I? Huh. So, anyways, I'll have to look into it. But so if you're watching this or past, present, future, who knows? If you want your league to be featured on here as much as I feature Arc League, then definitely let me know, and then you just have to provide something that is actually worth showing, and we can talk about it. But other than that, Pickle, you got anything else you want to add to anything?
No, besides complete said it's complete. But yeah, no, I don't really have anything
The image
else
looks
to
this
add.
big to me, okay? I couldn't really see.
No, it's like less than like 16 by 16 pixels for me, you know.
Man, it kind of looks like someone else I know from Discord. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. But
He says
anyways,
he's better looking than you think.
he was on the podcast. I think no, he was the reason
He was
why I
number
do the
one.
pod. He wasn't number one.
He wasn't?
He did. I did a podcast with him for the Larsenauts thing,
Oh, really?
and I was like, I really enjoyed doing this. And so I was like, I'm gonna make a podcast out of this. And then VR Jungle came out. I want to eventually have him back on. So I know you're watching this. I'm gonna be talking to you
Yeah,
about
complete.
about
Reach out.
yeah. You come
We'll
on.
talk to you. We'll come for you.
But anyways, for the viewers, I am still debating if I am going to do this next Sunday. Mr. Pickle Ostrich, my naked VR avatar man, will not be here. So if I do it, I'm either gonna find a guest or just do it myself. And I mean, it's also football, Super Bowl Sunday, so that also is going to impact it a lot because who's going to want to watch VR Jungle over the most watched event in the year? So
Right.
you never know. You know, if a million people want to come to VR Jungle, the people that are in the Super Bowl aren't worth watching anyway. So I think this is better.
Yeah. Shout out to Complete again.
Yeah, so I'll definitely keep everyone posted midweek if this is gonna happen. I might even move the date. I might do it Friday night instead of Sunday just to push it away from the Super Bowl. So, you got any last remarks before people don't see you for 2 weeks?
Take care, guys. Play some VR. Have some fun. I'm gonna go have some fun with my girlfriend in New York, so that should be fun.
Awesome. It's probably snowing there by now. Lots of snow there. So everyone that came in commented, really enjoyed it, and great time with Guinness. Arthur Guinness? He was great guest. Definitely gonna have to rearrange the scenes because I didn't. It was like 5 minutes before thing. I had to reset my computer. I'm just like, these are just where the images are gonna go for right now, and my name was deleted, so whatever. So, everyone, have a good rest of your week. If you want to play some Zenith with me, that's what I'm gonna go do right now. Is play a whole bunch of Zenith. So.
Oh, I have a mini story about Zenith and you specifically.
All right, you can end it with your mini story, and then we're out of here.
Okay, so I was on Zenith and Titan 3, the Havoc server.
Titan 2 now.
We're Titan 2 now?
Yep, Titan 2 now. Titan 3 is...
That's why I couldn't find you, dude.
Titan 3 is doo-doo now, and I'm eventually going to move it again to a higher up one. I don't know why we decided to do something at the very bottom of the servers, but I'm going to probably pick something in the Bs. One reason it's more popular and you actually can get more involved in stuff, so that's the reason. But anyway, go on with your story.
Okay, so apparently that's the reason why I couldn't find you, but I literally, with my level 5 character, my level 5 Blade Master.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the entire map trying to bounty hunt you so I could join the guild. Because I thought it would be fun, but I could not fight you.
When was
At
this?
all. This was like, I don't know, like 3, 4, or 5 days ago, somewhere between there.
Yeah, I was on Titan too.
Yeah.
That's got to be a sad realization that you did all of that.
I mean, I got some extra tiers. I leveled up, so I can move around.
Yeah. He says most watched event in the U.S. I don't believe so. I think it's the most watched in the world, but I'm also talking to someone from the UK. I think the World Cup might be actually more watched. I think soccer World Cup. I know that no one in America talks about soccer until the World Cup, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, go America!"
Yeah.
So I need friends for Zenith. Hey,
Yeah, complete. Hit us up, bro.
I'll be on Titan 2 East. Well, I mean, crap, you're in the UK, so that's gonna not work out very well. So it might be a little laggy. Hey, laggy servers equals more material created. So if you want to craft your sword, get on a really crappy server you're not supposed to be on, and you might get 2. So. But
Yep.
Anyways, safe travels, Pickle. I will see you not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. So everyone, have a great rest of your week. You gonna say anything?
Okay,
you
guys.
Say
Goodbye.
goodbye?
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's time to get out.